Start off my card with a sweet one, please. Someone flips me a bad body. So, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strong, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are around the world. This is our Boxing Hub. I go by the name of BNG, featuring yours truly, Trey. What's good?
All good, cuz you know what? I'm just excited. You know, we've got some beautiful weather out there. And yeah, look, we had some tremendous action, you know, for boxing. And of course, I'm just excited right now. Man United did the job. So I'm just gassed right now, cuz. Do you know what I mean? Champions League football. So a little review for everyone that's sort of coming up next week. So big FA Cup. But cuz, let's get into the boxing first. First of all, before we get into that, how you doing? Hopefully you're well. Hopefully in good spirits.
I'm all good. Let's go straight in. I'm all good.
Straight in. All right, cuz. You know what? I'm just thinking. Let's get into the Colin fight. Did you watch it?
Do you know what? I saw a clip. Unfortunately, I didn't watch it yesterday. I was watching the Okolie and Lee Wood.
Ooh, you know what? Before we get into sort of Colin's defeat, it's obviously a big defeat. And look, Tony, big up, massive love. We obviously do apologize that there was no show on Wednesday. You know, we had situations that we needed to sort out, but look, we're live, we're here, and we're good to go. And we're about to give you 2 episodes in one today because we're about to review, you know, some tremendous bouts. But Tony, thank you so much once again. And look, guys, for those that follow, you know, the family, obviously big up Rico as well and Ra. They both obviously attended the big event that we're going to review at the end of the show. Of course, they're obviously doing some tremendous work in the back end. Got to do some interviews through Sporting Icons. So guys, big up Rico, big up Ra as well. And cuz, look, let's get into Lee Wood. Review the performance for me, cuz. What you saying?
Yeah, to be fair, he done extremely well. Lee done extremely well. A part of me, I think that Lara wasn't really on it, you know, because end of the day, if Lara was to beat Lee Wood, unfortunately, he wouldn't become champion because he was stripped because he didn't make weight. So a part of me, I feel that was he really motivated in that rematch because again, he also got fined heavy. So you can only imagine, you know, your head's all over the place. But with Lee, look, he kept it professional. He controlled pretty much every round, really. Do you know what I mean? He got the job done. He got the win, so he's got his belt back. My only question is, it's like, okay, who's next? Is it going to be Josh Warrington or is it going to be Lopez? Because Lee Wood, remember, he's 35, and I think he's at that time where he's struggling to make. Is it featherweight?
Exactly that, cuz. Exactly that. For me, honestly, it was a tremendous performance in Manchester. You got big up Lee Wood, and he fought very smart, I would say. He went in and out. You know, he obviously got the knockdown in round 2, I believe. Obviously, big up Palamos music as well. He's obviously saying, yes, gents, hope all is good with everyone. Look, big up to yourself. And Lara, who overweight, like what the F, like cuz, like it was a bit crazy, you know, with him going overweight. But what was your thoughts on that sort of before getting into the fight? Like, because for me, just before you say it, fighters, you know, especially when you defend the title, we know that, you know, sometimes weight's an issue, but when you defend the belt, man, you got to make the weight. You got to defend your title with honor. You're coming all the way up to obviously the UK. So yeah, I just think that that's something that needs to be done, man. But what's your thoughts on that, cuz?
Well, I don't know. It's just the same as when Andy Ruiz beat AJ, innit? You know, he wasn't training as much. He was partying. He put on weight. So I don't know. I think it could be the money. You know, your life changes. Think about it. You become a world champion. Your life changes. Do you know what I mean? You know, but I don't know. I mean, I just that Lara performance yesterday wasn't the Lara that we've seen in the past. Do you know what I mean? So I just think I don't think the hunger or motivation was really there because you know, if he had one, unfortunately, he wouldn't win the belt. Just be just he would have just won the fight. But I would honestly like to see Lara and Josh Warrington fight. I want to see that rematch. And with Lee Wood, I want him to unify, innit?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that'll be massive. And look, we've obviously called out Eddie Hearn a few times, man. So I'm gonna call him out again. Get this guy the fight at the City grounds, man. Get this guy a stadium fight at his home, you know, Nottingham Forest. You know, I think that's a very historical club when it comes to football. So whenever you can mix the two, boxing and football, it always creates a tremendous atmosphere. And obviously, big up to Bukayo Saka who's joining us today. He's obviously saying congratulations to Wood, but Lara prepared to lose. Because, you know, when you're not, you know, making weight, it changes your mindset. And he's obviously saying, I never thought I'd see the day when a world champion from Mexico City didn't show up to win. Look, it's that he's making some good points. So big up Bukayo Saka for, you know, getting involved in discussions. And look, booking football grounds always, you know, it is always depending on dates. But, you know, Bournemouth, the fact that, you know, they're still playing at the highest level, they were able to get a date booked in for, you know, the main event that we're going to review. So I just think it's possible. It's possible. I think Eddie Hearn can look at some summer dates when the Premier League's not happening, and he can make these stuff happen, just in my opinion anyway.
Yeah, and having said that, I think Warrington and Lara should fight on Lee Wood's undercard, I reckon, and hopefully the winner of that gets to challenge Lee Wood. That should be interesting.
It needs to happen. It needs we're seeing a trend now in boxing where the best are now fighting the best. Like, cause before we sort of get into the overall review of you know, Okolie and Billam-Smith, cause we've got the news that we've been waiting for such a long period of time. Like it's been brewing for years. They've done well to build it up, but now we're finally gonna crown an undisputed champion in the 4-belt era. Hopefully, if it's not a draw, but like I said, and I've said this off air, and I'm more than happy to say this live on air as well, the truth will be revealed July 29th. And that's how I'm going to sort of make my prediction on the day.
All right. Well, you're just for those who don't know what you're talking about, Errol Spence v what's his name?
Crawford.
Yes, so it's been confirmed it's happening on the 29th of July. How I see it happening, like I said, this is happening on, you know, because Crawford is a free agent, right? And obviously Errol Spence, he's part of PBC. Now, the only way Crawford will win this fight is if he knocks out Errol Spence. If it goes to distance, there's a huge possibility that Errol Spence will win.
You know what, cuz there's a lot of you know, ifs, buts, maybes, predictions, opinions. But the way I see things is you've got the WBO champion, which is Terence Bud Crawford. He's already hit the pinnacle, becoming undisputed champion in a lower weight division. Now he's about to, you know, have an opportunity to do that twice. Whereas you've got Spence, who, you know, if you look at his CV in the welterweight division, because he's taken out champions upon champions. You know, you're starting with Kell Brook when he came to England. You know, Sheffield United, another football ground, hostile. He obviously bought the title, and from there he obviously beat Sean Porter for the WBC, and then recently, obviously UGAS, and now it's just the final piece of the puzzle. It's Terence Crawford, and I think this is the best fight you can make, you know, especially for the summer. And I'm just hoping that the anticipation, we've been waiting for this for years. I'm just hoping it delivers. And look, I think Spence just has it in the locker. Has it in the locker. Body shots, you know, finding the angles. He's the bigger man naturally. He has that inner, you know, something special that
he does,
yeah.
But Bud is a switcher. Do you know what I mean? He can counterpunch. He's a switcher. So I don't know when it goes to trading, it's a different story. But like I said, I mean, I've never seen Errol Spence be knocked out before. But this is just going to be interesting. Like I can't. If it goes to distance, yeah, I don't know. I'll say Spence, but Bud has to do something. He has to knock him out. Or he has to knock him out. There's no. He just has to knock him out in order to, you know, to be crowned the undisputed welterweight champion. Because if not, I'm telling you, if it goes to distance, my man's taking those belts. Taking that one belt, and possibly move up.
Yeah, you know what, cuz I'm just really deep in what you said about we haven't seen Terence Errol Spence being knocked out, cuz we've seen him, you know, survive a car crash. We've seen him, you know, have problems with his retina. He's been able to overcome some proper obstacles, and I just think that, you know, the way his mindset is right now, I don't think nothing, even Terence Crawford, as great as he is, he's not even going to stop, you know, Spence from becoming undisputed champion for the welterweight division. And it's the blue chip division as well. That's what people need to realize. This is the division that everyone has their eyes on. And even big up Palamas Music here, he's obviously saying that Errol Spence has been too inactive to turn up that night. But that's your opinion. Look, 100% agree. Regardless, what we can all agree is that this fight is going to be a big one, and it's going to be as big as, you know, Mayweather Pacquiao, but it's for this generation. This is massive, and they're fighting in their primes as well. You can argue like this is not way too late. This is not a little bit early. They've both, you know, reached the pinnacle. Now it's time to lock horns and crown a new champion, a new face of boxing.
Yes. No, I feel that the was Tank and Garcia, they set the trend. Do you know what I mean? And now it's just like, now you got Bud and Spence. I wonder who's going to be next. Well, talk about who's going to be next. Fury is calling out AJ. I'm tired. I'm bored. I'm tired now, man, because he's got no dancing partner. You know, he had Usyk. You outbidded himself. Allegedly, he was supposed to fight Ngannou. I don't know what happened there. Then he was supposed to fight two opponents in Australia, but again, it financially just doesn't make sense. So I don't know what's going on. I won't be surprised if WBC goes, look, if you don't fight, we'll strip you. I won't be surprised. It won't surprise me.
Yeah, let's have it. No, let's have it. Like, and before we sort of dig deep into that, look, the the Al Heyman of our boxing hub is obviously saying, will Crawford and Spence, or Spence Crawford, be bigger than Tank Shakur or Shakur Tank? I think just based on, you know, titles and legacy, I think it is going to be bigger, man. Like, obviously, Tank, 100%. We know he's the commercial man. He puts bums in seats. He does numbers like Spence, but this is for titles. This is for an undisputed champion in one division, welterweight division, and we've not had one since the three belt era. So it needs to happen.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So,
definitely happens.
But Fury, cuz let's just get into that. Fury. Yeah, I honestly, I don't like it, man. He's one of the best to do it, of course, but he's, you know, way too inactive. He's playing the business game really well, and look, he's looking for a dancing partner, man. And why not give Ruiz a shot? Let's have it.
Well, my understanding, he outpriced himself. Ruiz wanted 20 million, and obviously Fury can do that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the only next opponent I can think of really is Dillian White. But my understanding, I could be wrong, but AJ is in camp now. He most likely going to be fighting Dillian White in August or September. So yeah.
Wait, how? Cuz before we dig deep into this, so are you telling me at your favorite ground potentially, O2, are we going to see AJ versus the Body Snatcher number 2? Are we going to see Scrappers number 2? Are we seeing Watford versus Brixton? Are we seeing this again? What are you saying?
Well, in terms of nothing's been confirmed yet on who the opponent is. It most likely might be Dylan. Where they're fighting, I don't know, because my understanding, Eddie Hearn said it's a stadium fight. Wembley. But again, I don't know. I'm only going by.
Don't get me gas. Don't get me gas.
That's what I'm going by, because the thing is, like Eddie said, if they can't make the Dylan fight or whoever is supposed to be fighting, then they could possibly look into Fury. But then again, that ruins the whole party with Wilder, because Wilder and AJ are scheduled to fight in December, and that's for larger money. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, let's just say if Fury and AJ fought, and then let's just say AJ beat Fury and AJ became the WBC champion, there'll be a rematch clause. Do you know what I mean? So it's just gonna be long and out. So yeah. I think for now, I don't know. I don't know. I've got a feeling Fury will eventually fight somebody. I don't know who. Yeah, I don't know.
You reckon? And I'm sort of putting my promoter's hat on. Am I right by saying, is Dylan still the WBC silver champion?
I don't think so. I'm not too sure. Don't think so. No. Do you know what? I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know where he's right now. Yeah.
If he is, that must be on the line if they're fighting. If he is, that guys, if you know what the situation is, definitely get involved in the discussions. We'll obviously like to know, man. But yeah, regardless, I think it was going to be a good event. And George Warren is obviously saying, big up Palermo's music as well. He's obviously saying that George Warren said that Tyson does not understand the meaning of draft a contract. You know what? It's all mad right now. It's all mad.
That's funny. No. What Eddie said, Tyson said, I will send your contract. Eddie Hearn said no. George Warren had sent Eddie an email to say that, look, would you reconsider doing this? Do you know what I mean? And he said he'll look into, but no contracts or nothing's been sent. So again, I don't know. Is it Tyson? Does he have advisors? Well, I'm talking about real advisors. I'm not talking about word of mouth. I'm talking about actually someone will sit down with him and be like, look, this is the plan, or this might happen, or this might not happen, or this is being sent. So I don't know. So going by what he's saying, contract's being sent and no rush. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It's tiring now, man. At this rate, yeah, he might as well just go in WWE, just have a warm-up fight with Brock Lesnar or something, because it's just boring now, man. But
I'd like to see that Fury versus Brock Lesnar for the what is the Universe title now? I can't even keep up with it now, man.
Yeah, let's talk about something else now.
Yeah, let's get down to business. Let's get down to the main event review. Obviously, before we get to the main event review, I'm saying that the next big fight is going to be Eddie Hearn versus O'Hara Davis. That fight's going to happen. Make sure that fight's happening at the Copper Box. Now, all your call. Let's have that your call, nice and local, so that he can get his Hackney, community to come and support, man. But you know what, guys? Let's get down to business. It's obviously the main event. We have the big review because obviously Lawrence Okolie went over to Bournemouth against Billam-Smith, Chris Billam-Smith, and he obviously lost his title. And Billam-Smith obviously became a champion, a world champion. Emotional moment at the end there. It was good to see, an athlete, relive his dream. And, it comes down to the words of Tunde, you obviously know it best. Dream it, um, believe it, and become it. So, like, look, big up, big up. It was good to see, but I can't lie, cuz Okolie is obviously from East London. I'm an East London man, and yeah, I just felt that me personally, I just wanted him to defend his belt, you know, in a local area, you know, like London Stadium or like a copper box, defend his title, let the man come to you to try and get your belts. But that's, you know, that's a whole different subject for another day, man. But the tactics on the night, the performance just wasn't the best. And it seemed like it wasn't there in the fight, man. It seemed like it wasn't there, man. But, cuz, what's your overall sort of perception, views about the fight?
Oh, shocking. It was terrible. It was, do you know what? Thank God it wasn't pay-per-view. It was terrible, man. Honestly. Like, for one, you are the world, he was the world champion. Secondly, it's just like when you are, you know, you're the A side, right? This was a voluntary defense. He didn't have to do it, but he wanted to. The thing is, like you said, he should have brought Chris to his backyard. Do you know what I mean? The whole game plan, when I say game plan, I think they had a game plan, but his performance was just all wrong. It's just like he got 2 points deducted, right? He got knocked down once because the other two doesn't class as a knockdown, because if you watch it, he actually dropped. He was all over the place. He's got a lot to improve on. I mean, like, look, in the rematch, well, if there is a rematch, if he performs this, if there's no improvement, he's going to lose again. And if he does lose again, where's he going to go? He's talking about moving up to heavyweight. Dude, with that performance there, nah. Heavyweight will just take the mick. Because think about it, don't get me wrong, like, look, big up Billam-Smith. Like, you know, he deserves the win. He deserves the win. But at the same time, I think that Shane McGuigan, you know, on the post conference, he said that he knew that Lawrence had so many weaknesses. Do you know what I mean? So many weaknesses that I think he finds hard to work on. But so he knew. And not just that, during the fight, you hear McGuigan keep shouting, saying, ref, you know, when my man bear hugging, this and that. It's just, it was awful, man. It was, honestly, man. Like, don't get me wrong, look, I'm a Lawrence Okolie fan, innit? Like, I'm 100% Lawrence, you know, the source. But that there, it was bad, bro. He wasn't even listening to his coach. That's how bad it was. Literally, all he's doing is relying on the right hand, but nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. No defense, no technique, nothing. You know, nothing. And he's talking about rematch. But dude, like, before you fought Billam-Smith here, look at your last performance. I thought you was gonna at least improve. You know, what if you was to ask Lawrence here, what would you rate your performance yesterday? I'll probably say 2 or a -1, because it was bad. If it was a close fight and he lost, we'll be like, yeah. But it was sloppy, man. It was. I'm not impressed at all, man. I'm not impressed at all. Like and again, the rematch, I take it he's going back to warm up again, or is it gonna be a neutral ground? I don't know.
You know what, cuz, like, even before we get into thoughts about the rematch, obviously big up Palama's music. He's obviously saying that he called Billam-Smith to you. And to be honest, he obviously fell asleep during the fight, but watched it back today and saw a man give away his titles rather than, you know, losing them to another man, or just taking it from him. Like, agree with him. It was a strange one.
So it's good there. Like, if that was Riappo fighting Lawrence yesterday, dude, Riappo would have won that fight. He would have won it 100%. Do you know what I mean? You know, it was bad, man. Honestly, I've seen fights before, but that was bad. That was, and the thing is, yeah, as a promoter, so I'm not a promoter. I'm saying that. So Ben Shalom, like, what's he thinking? Like, right, you know, I invested in Lawrence Okolie, and like, he hasn't really done too well. Do you know what I'm saying? And like Eddie Hearn, he had an interview yesterday with Boxing Social. And I think it was Parson. He asked him, like, you know, Eddie, Lawrence just lost the fight. What's your thoughts? He goes, he's got the wrong people around him. He's been advised wrongly. You know, do you know what I mean? You've been advised wrongly. And he goes, like, look, if he doesn't get the belt back, then what does he do? Does he retire? Does he go bridgeweight? Does he go heavyweight? What's he going to do? The fight between him and Riapol, I don't think people be interested anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was no statement. Look, I agree with Palama's music. Now,
Dude.
do we believe Eddie Hearn? Look, at the end of the day, I just think that, look, he's just started camp with Sugar Hill. Like you said, he's got a lot of improvements to make. And I think he's sort of put himself in a bit of a hole, and he's poorly advised, I would say. And also the fact that this fight was firstly announced in Bournemouth, like, in my head, I was sort of thinking, you're a champion, you know, you should have maybe made the man come to you, you know, to get your belts. It's like Mayweather, for example. He always said to whoever fought him, come to Las Vegas. That's my home. If you're going to beat me in Las Vegas. If you beat me, then I'm more than happy to come back. So now, obviously, Lawrence Okolie has to go back to Bournemouth, get his belts, and bring it back.
I believe he can do the job, but he's got a lot to improve on, man. A lot to improve on, because he's got an advantage already. He's got a longer reach. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just, look, there's so much we can say, because also, you know, when we're not a boxer or whatnot, but just watch the fight. Do you know what? I only watched it once. It was yesterday. I may just watch it again, but it was sloppy. And even when he must have buzzed Chris. I can't remember. I think it was round 8 or round 9, and he didn't even finish the job. It's just like he froze. So I don't know. The thing is, like, I think what's his name? His coach is the right person for him, but he just needs to know how to set up his punches, man. He's just relying. He reminds me of Wilder again. Do you know what I mean? When Wilder, when his old coach was saying all Wilder does is just relies on the right hand. Mm-hmm. You know, he needs to learn how to move. There's so many draws he needs to work on, man, because because now going into the rematch, Chris is going to be 100% confident. Lawrence ain't going to be as confident. I bet he's going to do the same thing. Punch, hug, punch, hug. It's going to probably be a boring fight. He's going to probably be scared to knock him out or try to knock him out.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, and it's gonna be interesting to see where this fight happens as well. Is it gonna be back in Bournemouth? Are they gonna agree maybe in a neutral ground? But I think it has to be Bournemouth. Like, out of respect, it has to be Bournemouth. You've got to go back to the man's backyard. You lost your belts there, so you need to go get them back. So if I was his managers up to this point, needs to go back and do his thing. But look, Palama's music's obviously saying that our fighters believe in their own hype or understand real market value. I worry for Boatsy now. Because it's
it's true. With that statement, it's true. I mean, like, look, with Boatsy, Anthony Yard at this point, he doesn't really have to fight Boatsy. No disrespect to Boatsy, because it's like, look, Anthony Yard, he's fought 2 world champions, right? And now people can see, like, wow, Yard is above, you know, certain people in his division. But the only way I could see Yard and Boatsy happening is if one of them gets the belts. You know, because, like, look, let's just say, okay, Boatsy fights Yard and Boatsy beats Yard, then it's gonna be like, ooh, do you know what I mean? You know, his stock could go down a bit. But I don't know. It's just one of those ones where I just think Boatsy now just needs to just go for, you know, just knock on the door and challenge for a world title, because there's no point in him fighting Dan Aziz, because, again, if Dan Aziz beats him, it's just like, whoa, then Boatsy's gone down a level again. Not to say because of Dan Aziz, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, you know, he's Olympian, you know, he's never lost a fight. And I don't know, man. This is just all mad. I don't know. Like, at this point, I don't know what's going on. You know, remember, these boxers, they're getting any younger, they're aging. You know, so in theory, I don't know.
No, definitely.
Yeah, it's if Wilder was to fight Okolie, he'll put Okolie to bed within round 3, I reckon.
Yeah. I think the Wilder's a bit too heavy. It's crazy, it's crazy. And look, Billam-Smith's music's obviously saying Yard's credibility is obviously high.
Yeah,
But
of
yeah,
course.
it's mad. Now he has shown the big cojones. He has. That's what they say in Mexico. And now he's making the bag. So that's how we got to sort of see it. So, cuz obviously we're coming up to the end of the show. Of course, we just wanted to thank the viewers. We wanted to obviously thank Al Heyman of iBoxing Hub for creating the channel. Of course, it just gives you an opportunity to interact, get involved in the discussions, and yeah, we've got some news coming up as well. So guys, make sure you stay in tune with the socials, of course. And cuz, how you gonna wrap up this show?
Yeah, we're here again on Wednesday. We're here on Wednesday at 7:30. Look, just have a lovely, productive week, and yeah, just there's more news to come. And big up. Take care. Good night, good morning, or good afternoon. Bye.
It's another band. All the Muslim cars now, whichever get up. Light up my scars with a sweet one, please. Someone flicks me a bag by the end. So, it's another one, yeah, it's a full strand, yeah.